When you start playing a new sport like soccer, it takes time to learn how to maneuver the ball to get past players on the other team. After stroke, you also have many motor skills to relearn. For example, how to stand up from a chair or walk. The scientific investigation of how people learn to move is called motor learning. Interestingly, certain conditions during movement practice, known here as motor learning principles, will influence the trajectory, magnitude, and permanence of learning. For example, if a soccer player gets feedback about his kicking, they will be more likely to improve in their ability to kick the ball to get a goal. Other examples of principles that may also influence the degree of motor learning is the amount of practice, the complexity of the task practiced, and the practice schedule. Our study reviewed all the literature on motor learning after stroke. We first looked at the methods used to evaluate motor learning, looking at how much motor practice was completed in each study. Secondly, we aimed to summarize the effects different motor learning principles have on learning after stroke. To review the literature, we searched many databases to find all the articles that looked at motor learning after stroke. We had many criteria that was used to determine if a study article should be used for our analysis. Once the best articles were identified, we gathered and extracted all information we found useful to answer our research questions. Overall, we found there's a lot of variability in the way motor learning studies are reported in the literature. For example, studies reported the dose of practice in different ways, such as reporting the exact repetitions of practice versus the total time of practice. Additionally, the feature of movement measured in each study was also very different. This made it hard to compare study findings and meant it was challenging to have a clear understanding on how different motor learning principles may impact motor learning and recovery. However, we did find generally that motor learning principles such as practice complexity, feedback, and mental practice or action observation most consistently promoted motor learning, while provision of explicit information and more severe strokes were detrimental to motor learning. Other factors such as sleep, practice structure, aerobic exercise, and neurostimulation had a less clear influence on learning. Overall, our study shows we need researchers to be more consistent in their reporting of motor learning studies after stroke, so that this area of research can be more easily compared. This is important as it could better support using research on motor learning principles to guide clinical practice after stroke.